okay? For instance, you'll see a guy headlining at the Spear. They probably be getting a couple of $1 million. But you'll see a guy on the undercard of a big show probably making more money than that guy.
Floyd, I saw a thing this morning, him talking about keeping his money clean, stuffing hundreds of thousands of dollars in a plastic bag. These guys don't need money. A lot of times when you get these great champions fighting well past their prime, it's to make cash.
Terence Crawford will whoop his ass. He would beat Floyd Mayweather. I'm telling you right now, he will beat Floyd Mayweather too.
Terence Crawford made it clear he has no interest in fighting Floyd Mayweather. He said he never even imagined such a matchup because to him, these types of fights are not about proving greatness, but simply about making money. Crawford believes Mayweather is more focused on exhibition bouts and paydays than competition. While he respects what Floyd accomplished in his era, Crawford insists this time belongs to him, and he won't let money-driven distractions take away from what he has already achieved in boxing.
But I know how you is. You be sizing niggas up, bro. Keep it a stack. Did you in your head size up Floyd? Like, you know what I'm saying? If we was ever... Keep it real, bud. Keep it real.
I'm never that type of guy. I think that's some grimy shit. Always been happy for him, been a fan of his, and I never imagined us fighting. Yeah. I never looked at him like, man, I know I'll be this.
But you capping, bro. I never thought like fantasy fight me versus Floyd, nah.
Never. I never just was with a person and looked at him like, man, I'll beat his ass. Never. That's some hating type shit to me.
You like plotting.
I ain't never been that type of person ever.
Critics argue that Floyd Mayweather's recent appearances are less about legacy and more about financial gain. Once admired for his flawless record and defensive brilliance, Floyd has leaned into exhibition bouts that bring in millions, but add little sporting value. Analysts note that Mayweather flaunts his wealth openly, suggesting he doesn't need these fights for income, yet still pursues them. To many, it's proof that after retirement, his focus shifted to money-making ventures rather than meaningful challenges, leaving some fans disappointed.
Floyd, I saw a thing this morning, him talking about keeping his money clean, stuffing hundreds of thousands of dollars in a plastic bag. These guys don't need money. A lot of times when you get these great champions fighting well past their prime, it's to make cash. We see it a lot. These two don't seem to need the money. So I don't understand the need to do this. When talked about, Mike Tyson said, I still can't believe Floyd wants to really do this. It's going to be detrimental to his health, but he wants to do it. So it's signed and it's happening. Hey, when Mike fought Jake Paul, a lot was made of him being 58 years old. He's in tremendous shape. I mean, I saw him, and even in there, right? He couldn't get going at the rate that he expected, but early, he was fighting like Mike Tyson. Fighting like Mike Tyson. Floyd Mayweather's much younger, but he's so much smaller. So I get why Mike is like, yo, I don't know what this dude wants to do. Because there was a world where no one would ever thought that those guys would end up in the ring together. And again, they don't need money. I imagine, though, it's going to be a boatload of money.
Former champion Timothy Bradley didn't hold back when asked about a potential Crawford versus Mayweather matchup. He argued that Mayweather historically struggled against southpaws, and Crawford's switch-hitting style would give him serious problems. Bradley believes Crawford's timing, adaptability, and versatility would break through Floyd's defense. He even claimed Mayweather isn't that good when facing fighters like Crawford, adding more fire to an already heated debate.
Absolutely. But Terence Crawford will whoop his ass. He would beat Floyd Mayweather. I'm telling you right now, he will beat Floyd Mayweather too. He will beat him too. He got everything it takes to beat Floyd. Floyd struggled in the first half against Zab Judah. Zab Judah, a damn terrific fighter. Terrific fighter, but he ain't no damn Terence Crawford. Especially from the southpaw position. Floyd didn't like fighting southpaws. Floyd reached with that right hand. You think he's gonna reach against one of the best back foot counter punches in the game? He gonna reach with that right hand against Crawford? he gonna get slept reaching with that backhand, the way he reaches with that. That level change backhand he throws too, man, that pull jab he does too, that ain't gonna work. That is not gonna work. Floyd got a 72-inch reach. Yeah, he had quickness, fast reflexes. However, Crawford got all of that too. He got all of that too. And he got a 75-inch reach. Great counter puncher. Can concentrate all night. Can put pressure on Floyd. He can even invite Floyd in. Yep, I noticed. Floyd's not having success. He started to step on the gas. That's what he do. And he gonna run into problems with Crawford because Crawford hits harder than him. Crawford is the most complete fighter that I've ever witnessed.
Not everyone agrees with Bradley. Many analysts argue it's unfair to compare Crawford with Mayweather. They point out that Floyd's resume is stacked with elite opponents, while Crawford, though dominant, hasn't faced the same depth of competition. According to this view, Mayweather's greatness is already cemented, while Crawford is still building his case. They stress that it's too soon to place Crawford on the same pedestal.
Like Bud is the second coming of Mayweather, y'all got the game fucked up. Mayweather actually didn't get hit. Bud gets hit by dudes that, who on Bud's resume is an equivalent of someone on Floyd's resume? So that's it right there. You know what I'm saying? Floyd not getting hit by elites, Bud getting hit by non-elites, and somehow y'all think Canelo not about to touch him.
Boxing commentator Showbiz the Adult offered a bold perspective, claiming Terence Crawford deserves to be ranked above Mayweather for one key reason. He highlighted Crawford's victory over Canelo Alvarez, stressing that Floyd, despite his greatness, would never have taken such a risky fight in the way Crawford did. Showbiz points out that Crawford moved up in weight and faced a dangerous opponent in his prime, while Floyd was far more calculated about choosing opponents and timing fights. For him, that risk factor elevates Crawford's legacy beyond Mayweather's carefully managed career. It is an opinion that challenges the narrative of Floyd being untouchable in boxing history.
Why is Terence Bud Crawford greater than Floyd Mayweather? Or better than Floyd Mayweather? Greater is a little bit different. Greater is impact, resume, all that shit, but better. Terence Bud Crawford, after what he did last night, is better than Floyd Mayweather because there is no way Floyd Mayweather would attempt to do that crazy shit. See, that's the insane Sugar Ray Leonard versus Marvelous Marvin Hagler after being gone for 5 years type shit. Never being at middleweight, first fight at middleweight, being against Marvelous Marvin Hagler. Terence Bud Crawford never been on middleweight shit. The most he's been is super welterweight, and he was only there once. And he's fighting at 168 against one of the greatest super middleweights of all time, one of the greatest middleweights of all time, pound for pound, one of the greatest fighters of all time, reigning undisputed champion at super middleweight. That is unheard of, and that's something that Floyd...
Boxing commentator Showbiz the Adult took a bold stance, saying Crawford deserves to be ranked above Mayweather for one reason: risk. He pointed to Crawford's victory over Canelo Alvarez, noting that Floyd, despite his brilliance, would never have taken that kind of fight at that moment. Showbiz emphasized that Crawford moved up in weight to face a dangerous opponent in his prime, while Mayweather carefully timed his fights. To him, that risk factor elevates Crawford's legacy beyond Floyd's calculated career move.
To start making comparisons with your legacy to Floyd Mayweather, how do you feel you compare with Floyd with the resume you have now?
Listen, Floyd was the greatest in his era. I'm the greatest in my era. It ain't no need to compare me to Floyd or Floyd to me.
You talk the talk and you sure walk the walk. Your confidence and aura is on another level. Could we see a run as a light heavyweight?
Nah, we ain't going up that much.
Now,
even Crawford himself has grown frustrated with constant comparisons. He insists Mayweather had his time in a different era, but this era belongs to him. Crawford acknowledges Floyd's greatness, but believes fans should appreciate what he's accomplishing right now instead of forcing matchups that will never happen. He sees the comparisons as unfair, since Floyd is retired while he is still actively carving out his dominance.
Crawford has the tools to beat him. He has the long arms. He switches lefty and righty, but Floyd was pinpoint accuracy, tremendous defense. I just think whoever... at 147, That's tough. I don't know. A draw.
That's okay. What about Oscar De La Hoya and Crawford at 54?
Oh man, Oscar was a hell of a fighter, man. I think they could beat each other. To be honest, I think Oscar could beat him. Oscar's a hell of a fighter. He got great jab, good footwork. Oscar was a tremendous fighter. I feel like people really overlook his resume. He's an Olympic gold medalist. That's the hardest thing to probably do.
When asked who would win between Mayweather and Crawford, Danny Garcia refused to pick sides. Instead, he suggested the fight might end in a draw. Garcia explained that Mayweather's defense and Crawford's adaptability could cancel each other out. His balanced response showed the respect both fighters command, highlighting how evenly matched they are in the eyes of many.
Even though I've got serious personal differences with Terence Crawford, and I have ethical issues with Terence Crawford in the way that he negotiated certain things and certain things went down. However, at this point in his career, and I really believe since he's at 135 pounds, there's no questioning the greatness and how terrific a fighter he is. So after he beats Canelo Alvarez and becomes the undisputed champion in his third weight division, people start asking the question of whether or not he's better than Floyd Mayweather Jr. And I think that is a fair question. And the reason that I say that is because they're the same size. They're the same size. They fought by and large in the same weight classes, and dominated right after one another. Really, there was the period of Andre Ward in between them. I would love to throw Andre Ward in the conversation, but I don't think that the comparison is as clean and easy to make between Terence Crawford and Andre Ward as it is between Terence Crawford and Floyd Mayweather Jr. Just again, because of the similarity in the weight classes that they fought in. So when Shane Mosley chimed in and talked about the two, my ears perked up. Perked up because if you recall, Shane Mosley was the one that gave Floyd Mayweather Jr. his most dangerous fight, without a doubt. His most dangerous fight, the one where Shane Mosley landed on Floyd Mayweather 2 times and rocked him in the first round. Shane was an older fighter.
Former world champion Shane Mosley offered a different perspective, saying Mayweather's size would be his downfall. He argued that Floyd, though technically brilliant, is simply too small to withstand Crawford's power, reach, and versatility. Mosley stressed that while Floyd thrived against opponents closer to his size, a naturally bigger and stronger Crawford would present problems too great to overcome.
My Mount Rushmore. My Mount Rushmore is best boxers. Greatest is different. Greatest is impact. Now you're talking Floyd Mayweather, you're talking Floyd, Muhammad Ali, you're talking, all those guys, Sugar Ray Robinson, everybody. But this is best. And sadly, when it comes to the heavyweight division, just by nature, the little guys are the better guys, okay? Not only are they better skill-wise, they have more opportunity to do greater things. Because they're small, they can go up weight classes, they can kind of test themselves more. The heavyweight division is at the top of the mountain, all right? So they're the badasses of the badasses. You kind of go up to them, but they can't push themselves up much more, except for within their weight class where they fight a very big guy.
Showbiz later added a more balanced take, cautioning against oversimplifying the comparison. He acknowledged that Crawford's win over Canelo was historic, but argued that Floyd's legacy can't be judged by one fight. Mayweather's decades of dominance, consistency, and quality of opposition still hold weight. In Showbiz's view, both men are great, but their careers must be measured with a wider lens.
To Floyd.
Man, I don't really want to compare them right now, Hans, if we seeing everything that's going on with Floyd and Roy. You know what I mean? And, in competitive guys, next thing you know, Bud and Floyd will be mad at each other, man, and wanting to fight because people is like putting them against each other. Let's just enjoy the moment. I don't know. It's a close fight. It's things Floyd do better. It's things that Bud do better. But I'd rather not say, because I'm not going to just lie and just say nothing, and make up something just to, I got my opinion on, how the fights would go, and, but I
I think we should just let the man enjoy his great moment. He's a great fighter. And I see a lot of immature stuff, and I don't like the way things is going with Floyd and Roy. They two guys that a lot of the younger guys look up to, and they taking shots at each other in the media because of the who's better and all that kind of stuff. So, I just want to see Bud enjoy his moment. And, unfortunately, they didn't fight. They could have made, they kind of two different eras, though. Even though they was fighting at the same time, Floyd kind of was doing his different thing over there with PBC, and Bud's a lot young, about 10 years younger than him. So it didn't happen, and we got to just live with it. You know what I mean?
Trainer Stephen Breadman, Edwards encouraged fans to stop forcing comparisons. He argued that Crawford's victory over Canelo was historic and deserves to be celebrated on its own, without dragging Mayweather's name into the conversation. Breadman said Floyd is retired and should not even be part of the debate. Instead, people should focus on Crawford's accomplishments and give him credit for the risks he's taking.
I used to think that the size difference was too much, that Canelo Alvarez was like, man, how are they going to do this? He's 168, Terence Crawford's 147. But seeing what I've seen from Canelo Alvarez and seeing what I've seen from Terence Crawford, and while Terence Crawford didn't look great in his last fight, he looked awesome against Errol Spence. But to me, Terence Crawford is as good as they come. He's another all-time great. He's a legend. He's one of the best that I've seen from a pound-for-pound standpoint. But to me, Terence Crawford, he's older, but a lot less wear and tear. He turned pro in 2008, but he has 41 fights to his name. Canelo Alvarez is 63. Canelo Alvarez also has taken more shots, has been in more wars, quote-unquote, whereas Terence Crawford was just beating everybody's ass for a very long time. And almost all of his fights have been one-sided. And two, I think Terence Crawford's going to beat him in September. I don't know how.
Boxing world remains split. Many believe Crawford would beat Mayweather because of the risks he's taken, especially moving up in weight to conquer Canelo Alvarez. Others argue that Floyd's undefeated record and defensive genius cannot be dismissed. The truth may lie in recognizing that both fighters are great in their own ways, representing different eras and different approaches to the sport.
After Terence Crawford defeated Saul Canelo Alvarez to become the new undisputed super middleweight champion and achieving GOAT status of his era, a lot of people are wondering now, what could be the next step for Terence Crawford? And to be honest with you, there's a couple options. The great man himself did state a move to middleweight division could be his next step. And of course, a certain someone caught wind of this. With this interview, Joanna Beck posted this with two emojis with a thumbs up and an A-OK. And to be honest with you guys, I would love this matchup here. I mean, Joanna Beck is one of the most feared and avoided boxers in the entire game today. And look, stylistically, this could be an absolute epic matchup. I mean, the boxing IQ and thunderous power in Joanna Beck versus the GOAT himself. Who wouldn't want to see that? But of course, there are rumors that Carlos Adames could be Joanna Beck's next opponent, and that could be a huge unification to see who's the top dog at 160. But after that, who knows, man? And of course, the next option could be the rematch between Saul Canelo Alvarez. And for me, I would absolutely love to see this. I mean, the first time round was absolutely amazing to see Terence Crawford achieve greatness. But to do it again, guys, who wouldn't want to see this? And to be honest with you, it could be even bigger than the first time round. Or option 3, in my opinion, could be retirement. I mean, what he's achieved in the game is absolutely unbelievable. Undisputed, not once, not twice, but 3 times. And defeating the guy, the man himself, Saul Canelo Alvarez, to achieve that. What more is there to achieve at this point right now, guys, honestly? But look, knowing Bud, I'm pretty sure retirement is out of the question. Well, at least for now. But after what he's achieved, no one can question what he decides to do next. And look, guys, for me, even if his next move is to go to middleweight, best believe I'll be there to watch it, guys. But guys, what's your thoughts about all this? And what do you think Terence Crawford should do next? Let me know.
That's it for today's video. Stay tuned until next time.